scholarship funding, either for yourself or for your student. Uh, I just want to introduce myself. I am Sue Nelson. I am the program officer with the Community Foundation of North Central Wisconsin. One of the pleasures that I have with my duties as the program officer is to administer the scholarship program of the Community Foundation. So that is one of the things that I do. Jenna, if you can maybe change to the next slide. Just to give you an idea of the Community Foundation and the assets that we manage when it comes to scholarship presentations and things like that. We currently administer about 130 scholarship funds with over $9 million in assets. Last year, the awards from those scholarship funds were about $350,000 to students throughout North Central Wisconsin. At least 250 students benefited from the scholarships that were awarded through the foundation. We like to say that finding scholarships sometimes is like finding a needle in the haystack. It was not that long ago that I had students in high school looking for scholarships to go on to college. So I know that there is a lot of work involved with that, but like I said, hopefully we can help you out a little bit to help you find some scholarship possibilities. Just to get an idea who is in the room with us, I think that we have a poll that we could put out there. If you wouldn't mind being engaged with us, let us know who we have in the room with us. I probably should have put an other on there. There might be some possibilities that people are with a different role. As you can see, one of the choices under there is underclassmen. It never is too early to start looking for scholarships. I know a lot of people start thinking about it already in their junior or sophomore year. Okay, we've got a good little mix here. A lot of parents in the room. We have about 50% is parents. Of course, you're the ones that are looking to help with financing for your child's education. We have a couple seniors, no underclassmen with us today, and a couple counselors. And counselors, I just want to let you know, anytime you need some information on scholarships, we are here at the foundation office to help you out. So just to give you an idea what we hope to get through today, don't plan to keep you for very long. Most of us are probably looking at the dinner hour coming up and hoping to get to our dinner plates soon. So basically we want to just talk a little bit about where you begin your scholarship search, where this research would be done, some tips and tricks on what might make a good proposal that you would submit to possible scholarship possibilities. And just to end with talking a little bit about the Community Foundation and how we would be able to help you as well. This is kind of key to any kind of funding that we do through the Community Foundation. We have a very generous pool of donors. And my talk today will be a lot about the Community Foundation and scholarships that we have. A lot of what I will be telling you can be pertinent as well to other scholarship opportunities that are out there for you. But it all starts with a generous donor, someone who has a heart for education and wants to make going to college a possibility for students. Then on the other side of the field there, we have some qualified students that are looking for funding. When those two come together, we have the magic, and I'd like to see that scholarship award kind of in an explosion there. We find the generous scholarship donor who has certain qualifications they're looking for in a student, and then we have the students on the other side looking for funding. That's when we make a good a grant from our end. So where should you begin with your scholarship search? I'm going to put this one on the guidance offices at your schools and your career centers. That's really a good place to start. The Community Foundation does have a pretty good relationship with most of the guidance offices in the area. If we don't, we would like to. Our doors are always open to have some conversation regarding scholarship opportunities. So the guidance office is a good place to start. The Career Center often has either some form of providing information on various scholarships that are available to students in the area. That would be for local scholarships. The Community Foundation has those 130 scholarships available, but there are scholarships that we don't manage that would be available possibly through a student's parents' employer, I should say. Service organizations like the Rotary clubs and Kiwanis clubs, oftentimes they have opportunities. I know my husband was a dairy farmer, so there were some scholarships that were open to my children in the dairy industry, through the milk plant that he delivered to, through those type of organizations. So be aware of what is available through the parents' employers. Those are somewhat what is available on the local level. But then you may want to do a national search. It is as simple as going to the web and typing in the word scholarships. You're going to find a lot of different websites for scholarship information. Those are possibilities. Obviously, the larger area that they're serving, the more students that would be in the pool for the scholarships that are being awarded. So really the best possibility for scholarship award is through your local awards. The Community Foundation website is a great place to go. So visit our website. We do have resources available on there. Jen, if you go ahead and these are some of the platforms that we are aware of, that we have looked at, and we think that they are good sources for national searches for scholarships. FastWeb, CAPEX, Big Future. My suggestion is go ahead and look at one or two of them. I've got a feeling once you get into them, you're going to see some repetition among them. So you may not want to spend a lot of time on too many of these sites, but for sure check out one or two of them. I'm seeing people writing notes, and that's great, but I just want to let you know we do have your email addresses, and we are more than willing to send this presentation to you tomorrow. So a lot of the notes that are on here, you'll get them as well. So when you are looking for those resources, some of the things as a student you just want to be aware of the donor for those scholarships, whether it is a corporation or an individual. What they are looking for is a specific student. They're looking for someone from a particular geographic area. Most of the ones that we have are either with a particular school or with the greater Wausau area, which would include the high schools in what would be defined as the greater Wausau area. And we do have quite a few scholarships that go county-wide or throughout north central Wisconsin. We have a couple that actually are for students from anywhere in the state. So geographic area, sometimes the donor is looking for a particular institution, whether it's a graduating senior from Wausau East, Wausau West, DC Everest, Mosinee, Spencer, Stratford, or going to a particular school. Sometimes they are particular enough that they want someone going to UW-Madison. Sometimes it's general enough that they want the student just going to a school in the state of Wisconsin. So they're looking for that. Sometimes they're looking for a particular field of study. At the foundation, we have several scholarships that are available to students going into the medical field. We have a couple for students going into the agriculture field. We have some for students going into aviation. The particular field of study that the student is going into sometimes is important to the donor. Other times they're looking for characteristics. They're looking for a student that's been involved in the community. They're interested in a student that is a hardworking student, and they probably would be looking at some reference letters to get some of that information out about that student. Oftentimes the GPA is part of the review process, but as often, well, maybe not as often, but sometimes when some donors are looking for a very high GPA, other ones are looking for the student that maybe is not the highest GPA. They're looking for someone who's going to make it at college, but maybe they are not that 4.0 student. So occasionally the GPA is looked at by the review committees. And sometimes financial need is one of the things that review committees are looking at. I go into every review committee meeting saying financial need is there, no matter what the economic status of any kind of family. Financial need is likely there when it comes to college. So this is an example when you go to the Community Foundation's website. So as you'll see on the top here, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse moving, but if you look at the top left-hand corner, you see the link to the Community Foundation's resource, which is our scholarship listing. This is a menu of all the different different funds, those 130 funds that we have for students that are looking for scholarships. This is just an example. When I talk about those different areas that a donor is looking at, if you look, for instance, at the Luthra Family Scholarship, excuse me, what you'll see is they want a graduating senior from DC Everest or the Wausau School District. An exceptional student planning to pursue an education in health or human services. Our application deadline, you're going to want to be aware of that, is February 15th. If you need more information on that particular scholarship, because you say, oh, I am a student at Wausau West High School, and I am planning to go into nursing. You may want to look at that scholarship a little bit further. You might want to look at the tab on the right-hand side that says guidelines. Click on that. That'll give you some more information about the Luthra Scholarship and what that committee is looking for. And if after doing that research, you decide that is one of the scholarships that you want to apply for, you click on that button that says apply online. And we'll talk a little bit more about the actual application process in a little while. But that was just one example. Jenna, go back again. Another example would be the McDonald Foundation Scholarship. Mark and Donna McDonald have set up this for any student from throughout Marathon County or from Merrill. The McDonalds own the Woodchuck baseball team, and they have a lot of students that work for them at the baseball field at the Diamond for the games. And so they wanted a way to be able to not only have the possibility of scholarship for the students that work for them, but also the students from those particular geographic areas. So you don't have to work for the Woodchucks to apply. You just need to live in Marathon County or Merrill, And if you look on the guidelines, you can tell that what is important to the McDonald's from the name of their scholarship is the work ethic. A student that has worked through their high school career and still is very successful at being a student, maybe being an athlete, and as well as giving back to the community. So just an example of what you will see when you start doing your research on the Community Foundation's website. Take a look at that menu. You're going to find some scholarships that you or your child can apply for. So now just to kind of think about how to go about putting in a proposal. The first thing to do is start by building a library of some documents. And this is kind of the same process that I give to nonprofits that are looking for grant funding from the Community Foundation as well. It's easiest for you to put in proposals if you have these documents ready at hand on your desktop. My suggestion is that you have these documents somehow saved in a PDF format. It's the most easily opened by our scholarship committee. So just a little hint for us that makes it a little bit easier, although our system is pretty savvy at making those documents available to our committee members to open. But a list of extracurricular activities for those of you that are seniors. This is probably something you should have started already your freshman year. Just a list of all the activities that you have been involved in through your high school career. Everything from the DECA club, the Key club, activities that you're involved with at your church or in the community, volunteer opportunities that you have had. You will want to have a listing of different sports that you've been involved in and other extracurricular activities. There is a form on our application. The first application that you try to open, you will likely find an opportunity to download that format that we like to get that listing in. Jenna and I were talking this morning. We're hoping to make that document even more accessible for you to grab when you're starting the application process. That's really important. Have that extracurricular activity form ready. Most every scholarship that you apply for will be asking for that. Many of them will ask for transcripts of grades. Be kind to your guidance offices, and I'm not even sure what the method is anymore. It may be a little more streamlined than this. If you need to get your transcript of grades from your guidance counselor, get that well in advance so that an application deadline day, they're not inundated with students coming to the office asking for that piece of information. My recommendation would be for you, I think we might be getting tight. I was going to say, once your grades are posted on your transcript for the first semester of your senior year, that's really the transcript that would be of most interest to the review committee. I think we're able to do that because I think most of those are posted by February 1. And many of our applications are due on February 15. But again, be kind to your counselors or whoever needs to prepare that document for you. That's an important one to have. And the other one that will take a little time, and again, be kind to the people that you ask for reference letters. As a reviewer of scholarships, we do find that there are certain, excuse me, certain teachers and counselors and principals that are asked to do a lot of reference letters. Just make sure that it's a reference that's going to talk very highly of you, that's going to take the time to really talk about the attributes of you as a student. So reference letters, that's something that you could probably start working on now. Find references. Be careful when you are asked to provide a reference letter on your application. Sometimes we have students that will attach a reference for admittance into college. And that is noticed by the review committee. So make sure that if possible, the reference letter does refer to the scholarship that you are asking for, or it's generic enough that it doesn't look like it is a reference letter for another scholarship, or it's not a reference for entry into college. So in any reference that's willing to give you a college entrance reference is probably willing to give you a scholarship reference and could polish that off for you and give you a new letter. So when you're putting in your proposal, this is again the same advice that I give to anyone that's putting in a grant application to the Community Foundation. Follow the 4 C's. Be clear, be concise, be convincing, and be complete. The application is the only place that many of the review committee members are going to have an opportunity to get to know you as a student. So you have to use these 4 C's to tell the story about you as a student. And then some helpful hints when you're putting in a proposal, especially the first one, follow and read and follow the directions. Write in plain English. Look at your, oftentimes the application does ask for an essay. If possible, have someone else read that essay to make sure that it is plain and easy to read. Don't use jargon. Be careful of acronyms. If you are a member of FBLA or DECA or FFA or some organization like that that does have initials defining them, it is helpful to say Future Farmers of America or Future Business Leaders of America, whatever DECA stands for, spell that out. And then from there in your essays, you can talk about DECA or any of the organizations that you do belong to. Being clear, being accurate, being concise, those are all really important things when you are writing an essay or when you're filling out information within the application. Be honest. An application may ask for students that are going into the medical field or into any other particular field, because we do have 45 different applications that you can apply for on the Community Foundation website. If you are looking for a career in teaching in one of your proposals, and as a nurse in another proposal, that may be pointed out. So be honest. And again, that is one example that I have. Your career path is one of the examples. Believe me, as a high school graduating senior, we do not expect you to fully know what your career path is, but be as honest as you can in the application process. And again, being consistent throughout the document. Keeping it simple. Remember that these people that are going to read your application are reading a lot of applications. Give us information as quickly as you can, but find a way to have yourself stand out. We don't pay by the pound is the way we say it when we're reading essays. A long essay isn't necessarily what we're looking for. We're looking for an essay that answers the question that we're asking, and often the heart of the applicant can be felt through that proposal. A big bullet point here is to get your application submitted by the grant or by the scholarship deadline. Those deadlines are clearly outlined anywhere that you're applying for scholarships, whether it be through the Community Foundation or other sources. Make sure that your proposal is on time. Many of the applications that we have at the Community Foundation are due on February 15. Personally, if I had a February 15 deadline, I would probably shoot for getting that application in for sure by February 10th, and if possible by February 5th, and even more so if possible by February 1st. It doesn't really pay to get it in too much sooner than that. Those proposals are not going to be looked at until the month of February or March. But for sure get them in on time. So if you would like to apply through the Community Foundation, which I hope you do, it's a relatively simple process. Just go to our website. And again, you will get this PowerPoint sent to you. So you will have these links sent to you as well. Just go online to the Community Foundation Scholarship page, and you will be able to research the different scholarships available to you. And then from there, you will go into the scholarship management portal, which is the middle graphic here. And that is where we manage all of the scholarship applications. The first time you come and visit the system, you are going to register yourself with your email address and a password. Can I ask one thing of you? When you put in your email address, that you use a personal address rather than your school address. Much of the correspondence that we do with you, it does happen during the school year, but the important information that we're going to need to follow up with you oftentimes happens after you are no longer after your school email address is open to you. So if you have a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, Hotmail, whatever it is, we can correspond with you after you have graduated from high school. Please use that as your logon information. So once you are in there, the graphic on the right shows that you will hit the menu page, and you will be able to choose the applications that you want to submit through the Community Foundation. I wish I could tell you that filling in one application is going to get you access to all 45 of the scholarships that we do take scholarship applications for, but I'm really sad to say you do actually have to fill out an application for each one of the scholarships that you would like to be considered for. So yeah, so at this point, hopefully you have a strong proposal into us. So then what happens once your application has been submitted? This is the point where we ask you to be very patient with us. Your applications are due generally on February 15th. There are some that are due later than that. Actually, there's one due prior to that, and that's agriculture related. February 1, if you're going into an agriculture field, please look at the Marathon County Farm Progress Day Scholarship. Fill that one out as quickly as you can, because that one is awarded in March. Otherwise, the rest of them, once you have filled in your application, you will receive an automatic return that says that we have gotten your application. And then from there, you just have to wait until your senior award ceremony to find out whether or not you have received that scholarship. And those are generally held in May. So by the end of May, applications that you've put in February, by the end of May, you will know whether or not you are a recipient of any of the scholarships through the Community Foundation. So a 10-year award ceremony to hear your name hopefully announced from the stage. So if you receive a scholarship, these are some things that we ask on behalf of our donors. You have to remember, first of all, you have just received a gift. I often say that scholarship is not something that just happens. It happens because there are generous people that make it happen. So please realize that you have just received a gift from someone who cares enough about your education. So follow up with a thank you. Sometimes there's not a live donor, but it's still, there still is an entity that will take a thank you from you. So you have your award ceremony on Tuesday night or Wednesday night at Wausau East. And it would be nice if a thank you was sent out to that donor by the end of the weekend, following the award ceremony. Schools are really good about providing you with information on who to send your thank you to. So do that. So then over the summer, you will enroll for classes at the college or university of your choice, technical college, university, whatever it is, go ahead and enroll for classes. And once you have done that, there is a process to return your proof of enrollment, in this case, to the Community Foundation. Once we receive your proof of enrollment, we will make that payment directly to your college or university. It is our policy not to make a check out to the student or to the student or to the student and this college. We make that out to the college directly. So once you're enrolled, we will get that scholarship paid for you. Any scholarships that are under $1,500, we do make that in one payment to the college. For instance, if you are planning to attend UW-Madison, you provide us with your proof of enrollment in mid-July or August. We send that payment to the university. The university will credit your account. Oftentimes, they will only credit you for one semester and save the second payment for the second semester. So any scholarships greater than $1,500, we generally do make in two payments. So you would have to provide your proof of enrollment for a second time for the second semester. So at that point, we expect you to go off to college and have a great time. As I tell my grandkids every day when they go to school, go out and get smart. And so that is near the end of the scholarship relationship that we have with each other at that point. So I know I've forgotten to tell you something, but let's find out if you have any questions. Go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and put some questions out there for us if we can help you. Okay, we don't really have any questions right now.
Can I quick this one?
Oh, go ahead.
So my daughter is a junior. Does it pay to start applying or anything, or do we normally wait till senior year for the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You would wait until your senior year.
Okay.
Okay. It does not hurt to go ahead and start poking around and, do some research. The other thing that I would say is be prepared with that document that is to fill out about the activities that you're involved in. The more complete that you can have that listing, the better your chances are at some of the awards that are out there. Jenna, let's just make a note to ourselves that we include that scholarship activity sheet when we reply back, so they have that available.
Good.
But a senior year is when you actually start to apply. And generally that happens, kind of more of a timeline is you apply for your colleges, you have an idea which college you would want to attend, and then from there you start putting your applications in.
Thank you.
Sure. I'm glad that you were with us, though. The sooner you know about scholarships and the sooner you get comfortable with the system. I know that especially first-time parents, this is daunting. The whole scholarship process is just like the picture that we had at the beginning. It really is needle in a haystack trying to find the scholarships that apply to your student. The other thing that I want to note is anyone that is eligible within your own school, make sure that you fill out the general scholarship application through the school. As I told you earlier, we have 130 scholarships that we administer. Only about 40 to 45 of them are scholarships that we choose through an application process. Many of them are chosen through the school's application process. So that gets kind of confusing. When you get to that menu, there will be some that there's not an application process. Those are actually chosen by the schools. But make sure you get in the pool for those by applying through the school. Any other questions? If not, I think that we hit our goal, which is to get through quite a bit of information in a very short amount of time. But please know that I am available at the Community Foundation office if you have any questions regarding scholarships in general or any particular scholarship that we administer. Please feel free to give the foundation office a call at 715-845-9555 or email me directly at sue@cfoncw.org. We're here to help you.